Hello, and welcome to our tutorial on how to complete this year's workflows through Aspen. We're hoping this year to minimize the paperwork that's going home. So, just like last year where we did student emergency contacts, we're going to try and collect some additional information this year. So, the first thing you're going to do is navigate to nksd.net. Click on the Parents tab and then select Aspen Portal. From here, you'll be brought to the Aspen logon page where you will enter your login credentials. And once you're logged in, you will land on this page. What you're going to want to do is scroll down to the task widget, and then on the right-hand side, select Initiate. A new window will pop up where you will, from the workflow dropdown, you're going to select number 1, which is Parent Permissions Workflow. Today's date, if it's not already there, go ahead and enter it. Can you hit cancel real quick? What you're going to want to do is click on this little magnifying glass and then select your child. If you have more than one child, you will need to do this for each child. So once your child appears next to the magnifying glass, go ahead and click on Next. In order to make this a little easier to use, we highly recommend that you maximize this window just so the information is easier to read. So the first tab that opens up is our responsible use of technology. This is the same acceptable use policy that we've had in years past, but this year we've just put the information into Aspen, so it may look a little bit longer. After you've reviewed this information, please scroll down to the bottom and click on the checkbox that's acknowledging that you have agreed to this responsible use of technology. Instead, do not click on this next button down here. We're not going to click on that until the end. Instead, you're going to scroll to the top and click on the Release of Records/Photos tab, which will open up this tab. This is certain information that the district must obtain written consent for before we disclose. So once you review this information and selected the information that you wish to have withheld by checking next to the information you wish to have withheld, please once again, do not click the next button at the bottom. Click on the Handbook tab at the top. We couldn't possibly put all of the student handbooks for the high school, middle schools, and elementary schools within Aspen. So what we did is we created a web page where we host those handbooks. So once you've clicked on the link, it will open up to this page where you will select the appropriate handbook for the child that you are signing off on. In this case, we clicked on the Wickford Middle School Handbook. Once you've reviewed this handbook, go ahead and close out of the handbook tab, the web page tab, and you will land back within Aspen. Once you're back within Aspen, go ahead and click on the checkbox saying that you have reviewed that handbook with your child. And don't click the next button at the bottom. Click on the Chromebook Agreement tab on the top. This is the Chromebook Agreement that is required for students in grades 4 through 12. Very similar to the Chromebook Agreement from last year. One of the big differences this year is instead of offering insurance through GoCare or through Worth Ave Group, we're actually offering the insurance from the district. We'll have a workflow on how to opt in for Chromebook insurance later on this week or next week. In the meantime, if you'd like some additional information on Chromebook insurance, you can call our office at 268-6509. But once you've reviewed this information and are agreeing to the policy, go ahead and click on that button and then scroll back up to the top. Here you'll get our last tab, which is the sign off tab. Here, if the date isn't pre-populated, you'll want to go ahead and enter in today's date. And now you want to go ahead and click on that next button on the bottom. Here you'll get confirmation that you've just completed the parent permission workflow for your child's name and today's date. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to click on Finish. And that will complete this workflow.
The next workflow, you would click on the Initiate button again in Tasks and go to number 2, Annual Health Collection. Once again, you'll use a magnifying glass to select your child. If you have more than one, you'll be doing this for each child. Click on Next and maximize your window. Here you will enter the information that's requested and click on the Medical Conditions tab. On the Medical Conditions tab, you'll be entering some detail information for the school nurse, very similar to what you have done in Google Forms last year and previously on paper forms, the old student emergency card. These large boxes are text boxes, and you can separate with commas or a narrative, or write a narrative. Answer some questions. There's questions about glasses and hearing aids. Again, a medical list, and you can either write a list or separate them by commas. The line here is to authorize the administration of non-aspirin for the nurse. This box on the very bottom will only be in effect next year because it is important to enter information this year to fill the data fields. Click Next and Finish. There'll be one more workflow, and you would do that by clicking on Initiate, and it's the one that you've used before, Update Student Emergency Card. Again, select your child. Next. Here is where you will review the information that we have on file in our system for contact information. On the second part of the screen down here, you can scroll over and add some non-emergency contacts, or if you needed to update some phone numbers, you can click into an existing contact and add phone numbers. If there are no changes, simply click this box, Next, and Finish. It is important to remember that you will not see the changes you make by clicking Finish. All three of these workflows must be approved at the school level before they are seen when you log back into Aspen. The annual health information goes directly to the school nurse in the building that your child attends. The other two workflows will go to the school clerks in the front office. Thank you for taking the time for watching these videos on our new workflows. Have a wonderful school year.